How's it going, everybody? Really quickly, back-to-back episodes right here at the station, bringing them to you ASAP. That's how we do it. As soon as I got the time, you guys are getting the information. So here we are, Chicago baseball. Like, share, subscribe. We're trying to get to 50 subscribers right here on this channel to go live with our other podcasts and all that other stuff right here on YouTube for you guys. So please, that will help us out a lot. We're going to be talking about Chicago baseball today. The Chicago Cubs, not much going on for them. They don't have anything abysmal going on, nothing great. But you know what? Let me rephrase. There is something abysmal for those Chicago Cubs, and it's honestly the only reason that I want to highlight them, besides the fact that they play tonight trying to snap a 3-game losing streak, and that is Seiya Suzuki. A moment of silence really quickly. I will give it 5 seconds of silence right there for Seiya Suzuki, because he, ladies and gentlemen, he, for the first time, did not reach base in a Major League Baseball game. I know, me too. When I saw that stat, I was like, it's over. He cannot be the guy who's got on base in every game he's ever played. And honestly, from the way he was playing, I was thinking it was possible. But honestly, round of applause for him. Even though he didn't get on base, he still contributed for those Chicago Cubs, picking up an RBI, knocking Patrick Wisdom in for them. But honestly, the only thing I have to say about the Chicago Cubs, that last game, the biggest thing that caught my eye, I think they only had 1 hit. And I might be wrong, they might have had 2, but only 1 hit after the second inning. So, you know, that's just something I want to see different. Like we said about the Chicago Bulls, like we've been saying about the Chicago Bears, you know, these Chicago baseball teams need to play the whole extent of the game. So for Chicago Cubs, that means all 9 innings, all right? You can't just show up for the first 2, go off to a 3-0 lead and then not pick up your guys later on. Because honestly, it's not like any of Chicago pitching did all that bad. Honestly, the Cubs need to pick them up, especially in a game like that. You can't lose that close of a game starting off that hot. And I get it. Some guys just, have your number when it comes to pitching. But you got to do something. You got to be able to scrape that last little bit for those pitchers, honestly, because Chicago Cubs, they could thank their pitchers a lot for went on in their games. So Chicago White Sox, not as much. So there's a few problems going on in Chicago right now, and honestly, it starts with the pitching. I've talked all day and all night about the Chicago hitting on the Winner Circle podcast on Wednesday night. We're definitely going to get back into that, but what I really want to talk about is those Chicago pitchers. Honestly, it is not looking good for Chicago pitching right now. Over the past 4 games, not including the second Astros game where they lost 2-1. Not Astros, Guardians game. In the second Guardians game, not that one, but the other 4 games where we had Abreu, Anderson, Robert, and Grandal play. Those are the games I'm going to be looking at because it goes with what I was going to talk about Chicago hitting. So in those 4 games, Chicago pitching has averaged giving up 10 hits and 7 earned runs a game. Okay, I don't care how abysmal you are at hitting right now. No team is going to win with those averages. 7 earned runs. That is ridiculous. And it's not even just the amount of runs, because sometimes, guys are getting good, they're getting those home runs, they're getting those big hits. No, Chicago is giving up 12 hits, 11 hits, 13 hits all in a game. That is ridiculous. They are totally getting tatted right now, and that's something that you worried about the Chicago White Sox going into the season, especially after all these injuries. Lynn got hurt to start the year. What's his name? Joe Kelly has been hurt as well. And then, Giolito just got hurt as well. So the Chicago pitching really taking a hit, and we were like, when's that shoe going to drop? Well, it dropped early, and it dropped hard, scared the dog, woke up the neighbor's cat. I know, probably should have switched those two, but whatever. People are freaking out right now, and we really should be here in Chicago because 6-3 loss, 11-1 loss, 9-3 loss, and then, okay, a 3-2 loss. That's not too bad. That's one of their better games. Oh, 3-2 win. I'm sorry. But still, those are not good numbers overall. And what I really want to get to in terms of this segment is the pitching's been bad, 100%, but there's nothing you could really do if you don't have the people that were supposed to be there producing for you in the rotation. It's just not going to happen. What are you supposed to do? Make these guys better overnight? That can't happen. Obviously, when your starting players go down, your backups aren't going to perform as good. But really quickly, let me just talk about Chicago hitting because this has been an ongoing issue. Something that I found out, Luis Robert was 0 for 20 going into their last game against the Guardians, and that was shocking. How do you go 0 for 20? He did break that streak, got 2 hits, went 2 for 4 in that game, but at the same time, it really got me scratching my head, and it got me wondering, how bad has Chicago hitting been over these past few games? So I decided to look at those main bats: Anderson, Robert, Abreu, Grandal, Jimenez. Those major bats, those 5 guys, those guys that really do earn the top dollar for the Chicago White Sox. So in that 6-3 loss, 0 for 4, 2 for 4, 1 for 4, 0 for 3, 1 for 4, 4 for 19 with a 210 average combined. That is abysmal. But I hear you. That's not terrible. I mean, maybe it's an off game. Perhaps they're just not doing too good. All right, let's go to the 11-1 blowout against the Guardians. 1 for 4, 0 for 4, 1 for 4, 0 for 4. Jimenez did not play this game, so I'm not going to include that. 2 for 16 in this game with a 125 batting average. So, yeah, great. Fantastic, right? Now, you might be thinking, Tyler, TC, I should say, that's the bottom of the bucket. What are we getting at here? Okay, I'm sure it only goes up from there. No. It goes down. The 9-3 loss against the Rays, that is rock bottom right there for these guys. 0 for 3, 0 for 4, 1 for 3, 0 for 3, 0 for 3. So everybody who went 0 for 3, all of them went 0 for 3, except for Abreu, he went 1 for 3. All those guys got a walk. So, okay, you're taking the bat out of their hands at 1 at-bat. All right. The other 16 at-bats that they had combined, 1 for 16, or an 0.62 batting average. That is terrible. And that is rock bottom. But they would bounce back pretty nicely overall. Oh, wait, no, this is going backwards in time. So they didn't bounce back. They got worse after this game, where they won 3-2 against the Rays, and they went 2 for 4, 0 for 4, 1 for 4, 1 for 4, 2 for 4, or 6 for 20 overall, 300 batting average. That's not bad. That's what you expect from your Chicago White Sox. And a 3-2 win, perfect, beautiful. It means the pitching didn't do bad, hitting did pretty good, because honestly, 3 runs, can't complain about that. And that's kind of what I'm getting at overall is, 3 runs against the Rays, 3 runs against the Guardians, still losing those games, but that's because of pitching, giving up 6 runs and 9 runs and 6 runs respectively on those games. So the real issue isn't always Chicago hitting, but the issue always is, in terms of hitting, Abreu or Anderson through Jimenez on the lineup. I mean, you cannot have former MVP guy, and I know I've said this a lot, with Luis Robert going 0 for 20 for you. So that means he's 2 for 24 in the past 6 games or so. Those are rookie numbers at best, as they would say. So something's got to change for Chicago. I don't know if they're putting something in the water, if they need some sunlight or something like that. It has been pretty cloudy over here the past few weeks. Yesterday was pretty sunny, but overall it's been a pretty depressing scene here in Chicago. So maybe have them go out for a day that they don't play. Send them down to Florida, get some of that sunshine down there in the Sunshine State. Come back, have that positive energy, and refresh. Because honestly, you can't have an average over these past few games be 183 for these guys. All right, it's just unacceptable. You can't hit 183, be the big bats in the lineup, and falter. Like I was saying on the Winner's Circle podcast, the bottom four guys, I believe it was Vaughn, Sheets, Berger, I forget who the fourth guy was, but Vaughn, Sheets, and Berger, those guys are producing at the same exact level right now as those top five guys, if not better. Honestly, I think there's an argument that Vaughn is the best hitter for Chicago, and that Sheets is actually like the number 4 or 5 top from the top of the list in terms of hitting as well. Berger, you could say, is hitting just as well as anybody else on that list. He's hitting a little bit below everybody else, but honestly, for the production side, I believe he's got 4 RBIs, a home run, so that's on par with a lot of these guys as well. Maybe a few more RBIs from them, but honestly, nothing spectacular. And honestly, that shouldn't happen. I mean, these guys play a lot more than Berger, Vaughn, and Sheets, and I know Vaughn plays a good amount, to be honest, but you can't be having the same production from these guys. I mean, Abreu is Abreu, bro. I mean, that's not much to say, but this is a former, what is that guy? Rookie of the Year guy. He is MVP level candidate or caliber player. And same thing with Anderson. I mean, Anderson is top 10 in terms of shortstops. And you might be going, okay, well, there's only 30 teams, so that puts him in the top 30 percentile. Yeah, when you look at these freaking shortstops right now, man, the shortstops are no joke. And actually, I think he's just out of the top 5 when I think about it. I think he might have moved from 8 to 6 this past ranking, but I don't remember 100%, so I'm sorry on that, but he's definitely top 10, like I said. So he's nothing to joke about. I mean, he is a great guy overall, especially at the shortstop position, top caliber player. So you can't have guys like this just falter. You can't have guys like this not coming through for the team, because these are the guys that Chicago's relying on, both money-wise, win-wise, and, comfort-wise. If these pitchers go down in a hole 2-0 after 3 innings, that doesn't look good. It doesn't make them feel good, because now the pressure's on them to keep that 2-run lead. The White Sox hitting, I mean, you got to be chipping away. You got to be doing something. You can't be going without any runs, especially when you're giving up 7 runs a game. You can't be good with just 3. And that's honestly the last thing I want to talk about for the Sox, is the fact that they don't score as much as they allow teams to score. Now, it's not a big disparity for the amount of double-digit games that they've had versus they've given up. I mean, you could count them both on one hand. It's the beginning of the year, so yeah, it's a little bit easier to do that and all that. But at the same time, you can't go out there and consistently be giving up 5-run games and only scoring about 3 to 4 yourself. That's honestly the average right there for Chicago, 3 to 4, while their opponents are lighting them up. So, I mean, yeah, you could say everything you want about the pitching, how bad it is, but if it's going to be that bad, your bats need to show up. And they're producing at this level. Those 3 runs that I'm talking about that are acceptable, those aren't coming from Abreu or Anderson to Jimenez. Those are coming at the bottom half of the lineup from Berger, Vaughn, and Sheets. And that's just something that can't go on. And honestly, I was talking about it at the beginning of the year. One of the things that I was worried about is manager Tony La Russa. And honestly, with what he pulled the other day, having Garcia bat third over Berger or Vaughn, or Sheets, I should say. I don't know if Vaughn played that game, but Berger for sure. Sheets, I'm pretty sure. Vaughn, I'm not so sure about. But how do you have him batting third? How do you have Jake Berger batting 8th? Berger should be 3 in that game, 100%. I know he's usually at the bottom of the lineup, but I mean, dude, Garcia at third? Who's he going to hit in And on what? Seriously, is he going to hit the ball out of the infield? I don't really know. We don't know. Really, that's the thing of it. You got to give it to Jake Burger, who is at least going to fly out, so that could possibly get you a run batted in on a sac fly or something. But what the heck is Garcia going to do? Hit into a double play? Thanks. Anybody could have done that. All right. I don't know. I mean, if I keep going, it's just going to be more of a mean rant than anything else. But I'll leave it there for you guys. I feel like 30 minutes of TC a day is a little bit too much. And look at that. You're getting like 33 minutes of TC. So I'm going to dial it back. I will say make sure you like, share, subscribe. We're looking for 50 subscribers. You subscribing helps us get to that mark. And I promise you the content is only going to get better. There's only going to be brighter pastures here on TMT. This has been TC for TC Talks. Until next time.